Hi, and welcome to Geek Legion of Doom. I'm your host, Bobby, and today we're looking at the new family drama film Kepler's Dream, based on the book by Juliet Bell. Kepler's Dream sees 11-year-old Ella being sent off for the summer to live with her grandma that she never knew. Her mom is getting sicker and sicker. The cancer is not getting any better. And so her dad just throws himself into work in order to have somebody watch her and take care of her. She gets sent off to her grandma's ranch. There she befriends a young girl, Rosie, and the two need to uncover what happened to the grandma's most cherished book, as the grandma is a collector of very, very rare and hard to find books and things like that. Manuscripts, you get the idea. That's all there is to the plot. It's very straightforward. It's very simple. This movie had 5 different writers, and it kind of feels like this movie had 5 different writers. Sylvia Brownrigg, Anne Cummins, Amy Glazer, also the director, Vijay Rajan, and Sedge Thompson. It really feels like each person wrote 3 scenes, and then they just cobbled everything together at one time. The movie continually feels like it's in a rush, but it never really goes anywhere. Backing up a little bit, when Ella is first introduced to Rosie, Rosie is one of the people who pick her up from the airport. She lies, Ella, not Rosie, lies about knowing how to ride horses. They have one horse riding scene. Rosie's dad says that she'll give Ella lessons because she got kicked off of the horse. And that's it. There's no discussion between these two about why she lied or anything like that. They're just roughly the same age, so they just become friends because of that. There's no bonding that we see here at all. And given that Ella did lie essentially right off the bat, that dynamic's weird. But then we have scenes devoted to just the grandma correcting everybody's grammar. You can't call her stuff stuff. She has things. They are things because she's kind of a pretentious D-bag. To be fair to the movie, the grandma's arc is that she becomes less of a pretentious D-bag. But we know so little about the grandma, because Ella knows so little about the grandma, that at the end, it's a bit harder to buy into, especially given who actually takes the book that the whole mystery surrounds. It does not make sense. It doesn't really work. I don't want to spoil that aspect, so I'm sorry if that sounds vague, but basically when you reveal that there are 2 people in cahoots to steal this book, and you find out who they are, the grandma treats it like oh, okay, like no big deal whatsoever. She yelled at Ella for touching the book without gloves at one point. She should have a much stronger reaction. So scenes don't really flow together in terms of an emotional or cohesive narrative arc. The movie is kind of a disjointed mess. Individual scenes are perfectly fine, but they never come together to become really engaging or interesting. Part of that is because of Amy Glazer's very pedestrian, very journeyman directing. There is not a single shot, camera blocking, cinematography moment, or anything that really wows one into film. It never happens. The movie never springs to life. As a movie, as a visual narrative, it looks worse than some made-for-TV movies I've seen. It's really bland, visually speaking. Like, there's one okay sequence where we're following Rosie and Ella trying to find the tool shed at like midnight, so it's really dark outside. And now it's kind of tracking their feet through the underbrush. And that kind of works, but I feel like most other directors would have that same idea to represent forward momentum. Every other scene is just people talking. And unlike in, say, a Kevin Smith movie, the dialogue is not nearly good enough to make that want to be the focus of your scene. The worst part about this is that most of the cast does a fairly decent job. Ella is played by Isabella Blake-Thomas, and she's spunky and she is fun to watch, and she's spirited, even when the script is going against her. Rosie is played by Esperanza Fermin, and some of her line readings sound a bit stiff, but she does play off of Blake-Thomas very well, and I think she helps sell the drama of the book being stolen much more than the screenplay does, because this event is given very little weight, and the mystery is solved in about 10 minutes, so there's nothing compelling to keep you going through the narrative outside of these performances. Playing the grandma, Violet Von Stern, is Holland Taylor. She's probably the best known name in the movie. She's been acting since about the 1970s or so. She's had bit to major parts in several gazillion different things and TV shows and movies. And she brings poise and grace to a character who's written solely to be a bitch because she needs to be off-putting to Ella at first. Outside of that, there's no reason for it. It does not make sense within the narrative, knowing what happened to her husband, to Walt, Ella's dad, same person. Things like that. Just that, knowing what Ella's going through with her mom, like, you think she'd relate on some of that stuff, but writing-wise, she barely comes off as human, and it's very awkward. But I think that she brings a fierce determination and a certain amount of fun that is not there on the script at all. Playing Walt with Sean Patrick Flanery, he maybe has 10 minutes worth of screen time, and in those 10 minutes, he's very good. The dad's meant to be an underwritten role. He's meant to largely be absent, so the fact that that isn't in there a lot is okay, but the resolution for the character is very swift. It does not work out in a truly engaging or interesting manner, because he isn't so little, and because every scene just wants to get to the next scene, even if the next scene is people reiterating things we've already heard them discuss. It's very weird. Of special note, though, is Patrick Neil Doyle's score, which is really lively and really energetic and way better than this movie deserves. I could go on about the editing, which is stale. The cinematography is bland. There's somebody listed for special effects. I didn't realize there were any special effects in this movie. Not a single shot in this film should require some sort of visual trickery that isn't already designed by making movies. It's ridiculous, that shot to me. I couldn't tell you where that shot came from at all. This movie's not really worth watching. On the one hand, we have really strong performances and an engaging score. On the other hand, we have lackluster directing and a script that doesn't know what to do with itself, or just a confused, awkward viewing experience. It's not the worst thing I've seen this year, not by a long shot, but it never needs to be watched. It does not need to exist at all. Maybe it worked out better as the book. I don't know, I haven't read it. But as a movie, it's a 4 out of 10. I can't imagine any time you want to watch this, whether it's just killing time on a Saturday night or not. You have better options. As always, I've been your host, Bobby. You can find me at Terribly Fun Films, and thank you to Leo for having me back on the Geek Legion of Doom.